This is an addendum to the previous video. So it's God. So irc.freenode.net had Luke jobless. And then, God, that's stupid. So there was the Halo app for a blue light filter, right? And then there's going to be like, so I have COVID or sick, right? To Luke jobless, who will find someone to make him. I don't know. So like, all right, take hackers or take like Morpheus from the Matrix. Pick any movie with somebody with dark sunglasses, right? But like, let's take the hackers one because it's just stupid. Also they live. So there's a guy who has headaches who's on television, and then like, that's in They Live, where the guys on television are a little homeless. In Hackers, the guy who's on television is made fun of by the kid who's wearing sunglasses. And then and so it's like, again, it's like like a tarot card, or like any kind of house of cards, right? Where you have like essentially like one person being sick and then like two people sickening them in such a way where like how do I explain this? So you essentially make someone stuck between two poles, where like if they do one thing, you sicken them, and if they do the other, that you sicken them, because it's like they have two legs. And then you can have them biologically ill to two types of people. So if I go outside the shelter, I'll be sickened, and if I come back into the shelter, I'll be sickened. And they'll keep doing this until I end up on the street. And this is in San Francisco, by the way. So what you do is you take somebody and you sicken them in the shelter in one way with some version of virus, and then you sicken them on the street in the other, and as they're walking back to the shelter, you like sicken them when they walk through the construction site, or like on the sidewalk. The sidewalks are constrained, so there's a construction area. You sicken them so they're sick again to something else, which will be back in the shelter again. And then that way what you do is you essentially drive someone crazy over time, and then you have two guys who are like working to do this to this guy to make him ill. And that's the strategy. So if I leave the shelter, I'll be drugged and sickened in one way. And if I come back into the shelter, I'll be drugged and sickened in the other. To the point where somebody can flash a blue light on the phone, and then they can change the text on IRC specifically to be like, man, we want to spend money and resources to do this. Which is like the tarot card. And you do it to something stupid, right? Like you do it to like if you look at the movie Hackers, okay, just from a narrative perspective, like it's about religion, right? It's not necessarily about hacking. Like if you take any movie and you're going to encode information in it, usually it's going to be about the opposite. So like the end of Star Wars isn't necessarily about like space battles. It's about space battles from people who are from the perspective of people who are anti-technologists. So it's like, right? So it's like more a relationship thing. So that's the deeper narrative rather than spaceships exploding, obviously. So the thing is like, okay, like on the way to the shelter, right? If you walk down Main Street on the right-hand side, someone has written in graffiti on the sidewalk, labor psychosis. Because the only thing I want to do when I am homeless and surrounded by drug users that are making me sick is have money in a job so that doesn't happen to me. Like, of course, obviously. I don't want to make friends with any of these people. And if it later turns out that, like, all of these people made off like bandits and made a shit ton of money, it's like, I still don't care because they're assholes. Like, I just don't give a fuck. It's like, oh, cool. So when I hung out with you or, like, I was around you or slept around you, all you did is made me sick. So, anyway, they're going to turn the lights out. But it's just like...